Cheaters of Reddit. Why did you do it? Gonna break the theme and give a real answer of the one time I did cheat on someone. Wasn't happy. Was only in the relationship because of threats of self-harm and not having the understanding and maturity to deal with it. Cared enough to say okay we'll work it out and go with whatever she wanted. But the relationship itself was hell. Was asked over by another girl, and thought to myself in that moment, fuck it. I don't care. I've already tried to break up like half a dozen times and went on over. She found out, of course, and cut herself badly enough to get hospitalized. I told a nurse about our relationship and how I've been trying to end it but caving to her threats of self-harm. Her parents were there too, though they were of the opinion I should just stick with her to get her through life. Nurse told me that she was only going to end up killing herself and to leave her, and honestly that get out of guilt-free card was all I needed. She died a few years later. Suicide. I go back and forth on if the right thing to do was to stick with her and try to be her support. Don't set yourself on fire. And yet, I dunno. She chipped away at my self-esteem and confidence for over a year. We did the thing where we would be good for a few months and then she would break up with me for a week or two. Presumably to get with some guy she liked. I knew it was the case at least one of the times. She would always make the comment, when we would be having make-up sex, I bet this is better than jacking off. So basically she was saying I wasn't attractive enough to have sex with anyone else. So I proved her wrong. Also got some of my self-esteem and confidence back. As pathetic as it sounds. I had finally had enough when she was getting ready and casually said I think I am too pretty for you. Kicked her out and declined any further attempts at reconciliation. I haven't, although she urges me to. We're older. She's menopausal and has lost desire, and I'm facing my end and want to enjoy life. So I have a green light from her, but she is my love, and casual sex is like an oxymoron to me. It's frustrating. I won't lie. Edit. Thanks for advice, folks. Yes, that would be an open marriage, which is simply a huge change of gears if it isn't your inclination. We've been monogamous for over 30 years. Also, it's not a matter of her not being attracted to me or be attracted elsewhere. It's Mother Nature slamming on her brakes. She's not cruel. I'm not in hell. I'm frustrated. The end of my year's comment is just that. I'm on the downside. I'm mid-50s and have brain tumors. They aren't immediately life-threatening, but that could change. And I've already dodged more than my fair share of the bullets. I'll try and give a serious answer, lol. Was in a 7-month relationship that fizzled as quick as it started. We stopped having sex, or being intimate. We became roommates real fast. A friend of mine, who I knew long before I met my then GF, got closer and closer to me. To be fair, I never actually cheated, but I caught myself one day, texting the other girl non-stop, and realized what the end game was. Broke up with my GF a few nights later, ended up dating the other girl for a little under 3 years, until she moved out of the country. My wife cheated on me. She claims it was an isolated incident but I am skeptical. We're still together. My self-esteem and sense of self-worth were initially so terrible but I've gotten a bit better. I've been eating really well and working out. Arizona heat is great for sweating, burning calories, and I'm in great shape and Imo look really good. But I'm afraid I'll never get over what she did to me. There's a new girl at work and we get along real well and text snap a lot. She's also just drop dead gorgeous. Without going into more details, I think there's a good chance I could sleep with her. And I want to do it. I know I should have left my wife a while ago. I know I should leave her now. I know that her cheating on me doesn't make it okay for me to do to her. I know I'm a shitty person. This is the first time I've talked about this. I've considered seeing a therapist. Edit. This was unexpectedly very helpful. I appreciate the responses. I'm going to research a therapist to go to and I am not going to seek my co-worker in that way. Not sure what will happen with my marriage but at the very least I'm not going to be a cheater. Thank you all. I was stupid. Only time I did it I was on the way out with my current GF. Girl that I had mutual feelings for was on the outs with her BF. 2 many drinks later and we are going at it against a wall. Woke up the next day. Broke up with my GF. Girl didn't leave her BF. Moved on. Have an amazing wife and life now. But this mistake will be with me forever. I was the guy who said I would never cheat and now I am not that guy. TLDR. Don't get drunk around people you have complex feelings about. No sex for a year. When we did have sex, she'd just lay there. She started going out all the time without telling me who, what, when, where. Always unhappy. Night of main event. Other girl starts making major passes. I try to leave and call GF in my car. Rings and rings. More passes from other girl. Call GF again. She clearly hangs up, declines my call. Go back inside to other girl : eternal regret. Edit. A few people are getting caught up on that eternal regret ending. My only Reddit post can fill you in on that drama if you're that curious. Some Jerry Springer stuff right there. I was in a relationship with a man who was 8 years older than me and who started grooming me when I was 13. The person I cheated with made me feel genuinely cared for and appreciated. It was something I'd never felt before. I felt safe. It was the first time I slept with someone because I actually wanted to, instead of doing it out of fear. I was young, horny, and stupid. So a typical high school senior. I didn't realize the emotional pain it would cause my then girlfriend. And looking back as an older, wiser, more mature person, it's something I deeply regret. Because she cheated first, and lied to me about it. I then met a willing and sexually adventurous woman, and things happened. I do have to thank my ex-girlfriend, because I would never have gone through it if she had not motivated me to do so. The real answer: I was too much of a pussy to admit that the relationship had failed. I was determined to make it work, and I thought if I cheated we would be equal, then I could move past her infidelity. I was wrong. She broke up with me not long thereafter. We have a pretty hardcore group of around 5 Monopoly deal addicts in my office, and give or take another 5 people who play casually. Initially I'd occasionally cheat by holding more than the maximum 7 cards. I'd also sometimes slyly put money into the bank when it's not my turn. Why did I do it? The fraud triangle framework theorizes that people commit fraud due to the intersection of opportunity, pressure, and rationalization. I had the opportunity because my movements are deft and swift. I had the pressure to win because losing is soul-crushing and Harry looks like a smug twat whenever he wins. I rationalized my actions as a necessary evil for my own mental health, being and departmental harmony. I quit cheating after I found a Monopoly deal website online. Playing against Russians and Russian bots has elevated me to a level where I am my department's GOAT Monopoly deal player. I now look forward to the occasions where I lose the way a cricket legend approaches his second innings in a test match. I thought we had broken up, full stop. He thought we were taking a break, not seeing other people. Imagine his shock when I was suddenly in a relationship with someone new. So I didn't cheat on purpose, but I still feel absolutely terrible about it. I didn't feel loved and cared for by my boyfriend. Had very little attention from him. We were together for 7 years, then broke up. Now couple of years later I wonder why did we stay the extra 2 years together even though neither of us was happy. I got caught up in a perfect storm of relationship struggles, low self-esteem from loose skin after weight loss, extreme stress from school, and the resulting sleep deprivation, being manipulated by the guy I cheated with, and it being what I thought I needed to get my sex drive back. It was not. I told my boyfriend of 3 years about everything, and despite my best efforts, in all likelihood it'll be what ends our relationship. Don't cheat, kids. You'll be full of self-hatred and hurt a person who you love. It's not worth it. Serious 1. S. My ex, B. my cheating accomplice, was in a long-distance relationship and S. had been ignoring or cutting short calls for a few weeks. The last time we saw each other, about 6 weeks prior, S. made comments that I didn't look as good since getting really into fitness gym life and didn't feel like having sex with me. I was out clubbing with my sports team and B, who had chatted me up a week before, but I blew him off, started dancing with me and told me how good I looked. My drunk self just thought about how unhappy I had been and I decided I wanted to be single. So I went back to B's place and slept with them. I did it purely because I wanted to and it was nice that someone thought I was hot. Broke up with S the next day in case you were wondering. Turns out S had slept with 7+ other people and never told me. Being bipolar and having abandonment issues made it really hard to be with just one person. Through the years, with the help of therapy and medication, it has gotten a lot easier to cope without using people like a drug. I still relapse every once in a while, but I'm working on it. I just wanted to feel that pleasure again. So I went online and sexted to different people. At the time I didn't understand my girlfriend's problems she's facing. So I guess my dick got the better of me. Now she thinks I'm a liar and a cheat. Even though she's still with me and I don't cheat anymore. I wish I could go back in 2017 and tell my old self to not cheat. Because in the end our trust has gone thin and I'm working extra hard to gain her trust once more. I cheated on my ex. He was abusive. I tried to leave multiple times and he always guilted me into staying. I cheated and left a chat up with someone where I talked about it, then went to work where I knew I'd be safe for him to find it because I knew he checked my computer. Then it was his idea to break up because I was a cheating whore. I had a miscarriage. My boyfriend at the time lived about an hour away. Couldn't be bothered to come share my grief while I was losing our child. I went back to work 2 days after my miscarriage was completed and my coworker was so empathetic and there for me. He texted me when I was crying in the bathroom to make sure I was okay. He was just so solicitous, while my boyfriend hadn't even bothered to come and see me. I was drowning in a sea of grief and my coworker offered a life raft.